game is this?
Oh yeah, perhaps I should have warned you about that. My bad. Welcome back to another Foxy Games UK video. As you can see, it is the PlayStation VR2 unboxing. Very brief. It's not an unboxing video, just a clip, because all the juicy gameplay is coming, plus my thoughts on PlayStation VR2, my experiences. I'm going to talk about everything from how I felt for the first time, because this is really my first VR device. I've heard a lot about the motion sickness, which we'll get into. But also to talk about the games and everything else. And I want to thank everybody on Twitter who has been so kind, giving me advice about how to deal with, easing, acclimatizing into VR or the VR experience, regardless of PlayStation or any other platform. Things like ginger, chewing gum while you're playing, having a fan blowing in your face so you get some air, standing up, perhaps sitting down, perhaps not using the full dual stick controls with the VR DualSense, and maybe snap the camera so you're following it like it's almost like a photography of still images, not flashing before you, but you're controlling it as next picture when you want to go left and right. Or you could just play it like a normal game, but I wouldn't advise that if you are new to VR, but we'll get into that. So everything is absolutely amazing about PlayStation VR 2. It is phenomenal technology. I am incredibly overwhelmed by this technology. It's almost as if you're watching the Avatar in 3D at the IMAX, but you're in the actual movie. Like you are an extra, I suppose. It's like, but you're playing, you are the star, but it's weird. I don't know how to describe it. But first of all, on Friday, I was absolutely excited, waiting for the courier to drop the PlayStation VR 2 off for me. It arrived, I set it up for some immersive VR gaming. Even my cat wanted in. It was just amazing. And PlayStation VR 2 weighs absolutely nothing. In fact, my Samsung cell phone feels heavier, which is really good for prolonged usage. Even though I don't advise using PlayStation VR or any VR of any description if it's your first time for longer than 10-15 minutes. Incremental steps. After a week, you'll probably be able to play for a couple of hours, like I am now. I was actually, I'm not gonna lie, I played Horizon Call of the Mountain, and I played it with full control, so I'm panning the camera myself, in VR. And I played for like half an hour, and then I just had this compulsion to throw up. And I felt the build-up. I just thought it was disorientation. Sometimes when you drink a bit of alcohol, you're not quite drunk, but you are disorientated. It felt like that, so I didn't think I was going to throw up, because I haven't thrown up since I was a teenager. But I ran to the bathroom and threw up, and it almost put me off it. I said, I can't play this. I'm going to have to send it back. But then I got all the advice, and quite literally, I just followed the advice, played for 10 minutes at a time, left it an hour, went back on. Now I can play anywhere I want to without feeling any nausea at all. Literally, I played VR just before recording this video to get that sweet Gran Turismo 7 VR footage and the Star Wars demo. And I didn't use a fan, I didn't use any ginger, I didn't use any chewing gum, and I'm fine, absolutely fine. So I think that was my breaking in point when I threw up, and my brain has finally accepted this, I don't know what to call it, wizardry. It's witchcraft, absolutely witchcraft. People have said to me, is PlayStation VR 2, they've asked, is PlayStation VR 2 as good as they are saying? Well, better than I could have ever imagined. And this is not hyperbole or hyperbole. I had to hold on to my furniture while I was playing some games. I looked down and I felt like I was going to fall, like that feeling of vertigo. It is straight up witchcraft, I tell you. I was actually tweeting my experiences while I was wearing the VR2 headset. Thanks to its built-in camera, we can just see everything. It's in black and white, but I like it. It's kind of alluring. Let me tell you, PlayStation VR 2 is worth every penny. I purchased the Horizon Call of the Mountain bundle, so it cost me about 500 and £69 because I paid an extra tenner to get it the next day. I was that excited. I wanted it as soon as possible. Good Lord, when I first put it on, I'm not even religious. Good Lord, I'm in another dimension, I thought to myself. This is insane. I touch the water, I feel the water. I lift my hand out of the water, I can see the water dripping off my wet hand. I'm watching my hand dry over time. In my face, I'm pointing, I'm doing gestures with my hands, I'm touching the forestry, all of the foliage, I can feel it. It's rubbing against my hands. I'm picking up guns, I can feel the guns, I'm holding the bow. It's insane. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a grown-ass man who's a little shook to play a horror game in PlayStation VR 2. Like Resident Evil Village is more action horror, I get it. It's not as scary as the, 7. But as my first horror VR experience, I think Resident Evil Village will be right up my alley. And now I'm over the motion sickness. I can play it as it's meant to be played in VR. Look, if you can afford it, buy this thing. It's like the most amazing amusement theme park you've ever seen. Serious thing. PlayStation VR 2 is at first overwhelming. As I say, I vomited after 30 minutes play. If you're new to VR, do not choose the free roam until your brain and body adjusts. PlayStation VR is like IMAX 3D in your face. Gran Turismo 7 VR is incredible. I mean, you are actually there, literally in the freaking car. I look down, I see my avatar's legs, arms and torso as if it was actually attached to my own human body. Me and my avatar in that moment were one. This is an insane game changer. I am in absolute awe. You can hear the passion in I'm just excited just talking about it. I'm in this kayak thing. It's called Kayak Mirage VR or Kayak VR Mirage. I'm in there and I'm sitting in my sofa. My brain knows that I'm in the sofa because I went in before I put headset. I'm in my sofa. I'm aware of that. But after a while, I feel like I'm in the kayak and I can actually feel the chair moving. I know the chair's not moving because my brain is telling me it's moving along with the kayak motion in VR. Literally, I'm bobbing up and down. I'm going underneath these sort of alcoves and I'm actually ducking because I think I'm going to bang my head. It is so real, it is unreal. In fact, you don't have to just play games on it. I was watching movies like I was front row center in a cinema. I watched 5 minutes of the Last of Us HBO show using PlayStation VR 2's theater mode, and it's like being in a VIP section, front row, center seat at the movie theater. I kid you not, it's like 200 inches in your face. PlayStation VR 2 actually has a ton of application uses outside of gaming. I can see lots of software content being made that's really not that much game related, and you will still have an amazing time, even though I bought this thing for the games. But I'm saying if you're new to VR, those type of experiences might help to ease you in. I even ordered this skull head, this human skull that I use as a stand for PlayStation VR. It's just amazing. I think you saw it at the beginning of the video. Now, using PlayStation VR 2 for the first time is an experience I will never forget. Like the first time the younger, dumber me went on a proper roller coaster ride. I think it was called the Corkscrew, and I was age 12. Ironically, the recommended age for PlayStation VR 2 is actually 12. So I cannot buy my 9-year-old daughter one, even though I let her try it for like a minute when they came over to my home yesterday. And she was just in awe. She was actually screaming when the tall neck went over her head because she thought it was going to stomp her. Literally, we had to take the headset off her because she thought it was too real. It's just amazing. So obviously, I don't recommend giving it to your kids, but I gave it to her for 60 seconds. We timed it. She was monitored and I took the headset off her immediately. As soon as she screamed, actually, I took the headset off her because I thought I got panicked. So that's VR 2, my experience of VR 2, with all these games. I mean, there's like 40 games available. I haven't even played half of them. I've still got Pavlov, which is some Call of Duty multiplayer VR game. I tried it. I was in the shooting range and the guns feel great. It's just, oh, goodness. Why, I'm glad I skipped PlayStation VR on PS4. I was going to say, why didn't I do VR before? Well, maybe because the PS4 hardware and PS4 Pro to that effect just wasn't up to the task, and the hardware itself was a test phase hardware. It was like I wouldn't say prototype, obviously not because it released, but it was like their first foray into VR. And I think PlayStation VR 2 is just, I know, because I tried PlayStation VR, I'd done the Batman thing like for 5 minutes when it first came out. So I haven't been near VR in a long time. That was like back in 2017 or 2016, not sure. But yeah, this is leagues ahead of PlayStation VR. And because I ignored the motion sickness nausea signs, I actually dismissed it as disorientation the first time I used it. Something I haven't experienced since, you know, I had a great night out. I haven't vomited due to alcohol since I was in my early 20s. Fortunately, many moons ago, you know, I'm new to VR. So it's something that I have overcome, and you will too if you're thinking about getting this hardware. Also, Moss Book 2 makes you feel like you are God. You are literally staring down on the game and the mouse is looking up at you. You can even high-five the little bugger and he's responding to you. It's like you're in control. It's like you are a god. And the game is only 8.61 gigabytes. All these PlayStation VR 2 games are fairly small in size, which is great for saving those, you know, precious SSD space. So I purchased Thumper. I haven't tried it yet. I really should. There's a lot of games I haven't tried, but I've got a ton of games I still haven't tried. Just the other day I tweeted I'm off for a vacation from Twitter. I was talking about Kayak VR Mirage. I said that back in 10 to 15 minutes. And no words nor video can convey, none of this video you're watching here can convey. This is 2D flat image. It can't convey what you experience. You simply have to have been there. Hands down, the best mini vacation I've ever had since pre-lockdown. I wish we had Kayak Mirage VR during the pandemic. Lockdown, mind-blowing stuff. Sorry if that sounded corny, but it was mind-blowing. See, I even tweeted, because, you know, it's just mind-boggling. In Costa Rica, looking at sharks in this flimsy kayak. I know going in that none of this is real, but my brain tells me it is. This is some Matrix shit. Trust me. PlayStation VR Day 2, a lot easier than PlayStation VR 2 Day 1 when I vomited. I played for a total of 45 minutes with an hour break. Then another 45 minutes, I drank some ginger ale, chewed on gum. I had a 22-inch fan blowing me. Ooh, said the actor to the bishop. Anyway, and I haven't experienced any motion sickness like I did for the 30 minutes I played on the day I got the hardware, which was Friday. So I'm winning. Progress. No more motion sickness. So I guess I can play Pavlov, no problem. In fact, when I was playing Gran Turismo 7 just before recording this video, I felt no motion sickness whatsoever. And you saw how much I was looking around in the video. Purchase PlayStation VR 2 if you can. If you have a PS5, purchase it. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. I don't have to sell it. Sony doesn't have to sell it. The damn thing sells itself if you only try it. They need like demo kiosks because you cannot convey. It's hard to describe in words. It's something you just have to try. It's like me telling you what it's like to see a movie in 3D. Yeah, it's coming at you in the screen, but you need to be there. And what's crazy is nobody cared about convertibles or open-top vehicles in Gran Turismo 7 until VR 2 happened. Now everybody wants to drive a convertible because it's so exhilarating with the fan blowing in your face. Open-top vehicle in VR. You're doing like 150 miles an hour. Unbeatable. You can't get that in real life. And there's talk of this PlayStation 6 already. Yeah, I watched the Red Gaming Tech and a slew of other videos, like 7-8 videos, lots of articles on certain sites talking about PlayStation 6 and Mark Cerny being brought in. Of course he is. Why would they get rid of Mark Cerny? He's been so successful for Sony with the PlayStation 4 Pro and 5. Why would they? So yeah, Sony has begun PlayStation 6 R&D, that's research and development. Of course they have, because it takes approximately 5 years to bring out a next-gen console to market from start, that's inception, to completion, finish. Yes, Mark Cerny, of course, will again lead architect the hardware, like why change now? And yes, AMD will design the PS6 SoC, that system on chip, not Nvidia, because they're their number one customer at the moment. They're probably going to get an amazing deal on cost, which Nvidia will not give them, and you know, they won't get it from Intel either, because they don't have a prior relationship with Intel on that degree. So PlayStation 6 primary focus will be advanced scaling, ray tracing, simulated 7.1 3D audio, spatial 3D audio, enhancing PS4, PS5, and of course PlayStation VR2 titles. Imagine PlayStation, oh goodness me, I don't want to go there. PlayStation 6 and PlayStation VR 2 or 3 by then. PlayStation VR 3, who knows? And there's new undisclosed features currently not available on any hardware, of course. They all do it. Nintendo, they're not going to tell you, but it'll be something that only you can do on their hardware as a selling point, a unique selling point, USP. I don't believe PlayStation 6 will ship with a Blu-ray drive. Probably by then there'll be 8K TVs everywhere, so 8K ready Blu-ray drive add-on will be optional purchase. You know, this is speculation, by the way. I'm not claiming to have an insider source on this. It's just an amalgamation of videos I've watched, information I've researched. I'm putting it together, making up my own speculation on this, how I would imagine what Sony's going for. And I don't believe there's any fixed PS6 hardware spec at this time. Of course, way too early. Mark Sony and his team have a reasonable idea probably of what they're aiming for next-gen hardware, like what they'd like it to do, what it can do more capably than now in terms of power, and of course versus pricing, and has to meet criteria and expectations of the consumer and be cost-effective. So PlayStation VR games will not require controllers by then, I don't believe. Full head, hand, and leg gesture control, which it's kind of doing already, but it's only an option now. But I believe they'll get rid of it'll be a wireless headset. Everything's going to be just maybe put a glove on, or it will recognize your fingers with the hand gesture thing technology. I'm just in awe. Even on Sunday, I woke up Sunday morning before I even jumped in the shower. I had to go on Kayak Mirage VR, and it was like Sunday morning exercise without actually thinking you're exercising. Literally, you're getting fit playing VR, and you don't even know. But anyway, with regards to PlayStation 6, I would say, like, seriously, it's so far off. Just enjoy PlayStation 5 and the magnificence of PlayStation VR 2. It's the best you'll get out of Sony until we learn more of the info as it releases, I believe, in holiday 2028. I think we'll start hearing tangible information directly from Sony in 2027, maybe late 2026, and it will release 2028. That's my guesstimate. So, as I say, gotta play Moss Book 2. It makes you feel like God. The animation's amazing. It's like a Disney Pixar movie. I know you've heard that before. It really is. In fact, PlayStation VR 2 is so good, I feel compelled to include the hardware in an upcoming Foxy Games UK 2023 giveaways. As you know, that's what I'm doing. And you should probably go subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow the Twitter account today, if you want to be part of that, at FoxyGames_UK. You can see it on the screen. Go do that. It'll be worth the effort and time, trust me. So, public service announcement. I am announcing today, February's Foxy Games UK giveaway recipients. That's the 2 God of War Ragnarok PS5 digital copies up for grabs. Of course, the draw is totally random. You got to be subscribed and like and comment on videos to even have a chance. So, without further ado, drumroll please, the 2 recipients of today's giveaway announcement for February 2023 Foxy Games UK all-year giveaway. Our first recipient, Kinda Batuni. Congratulations. Hit me up via Twitter, DM, contact me so we can get you this code, however you want it delivered to you. And also the second recipient, congratulations to Joe X90. Congratulations once again. You must also contact me, both of you, via DM, Twitter. Get in touch and do so within 7 days, or I will have to put it back into the random selector thingy again, which will take me an awful lot of time, so do a man a favor. Though what say you? Let's continue the discussion cordially in the comments, as that brings us to the end of the video. Just like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, comment regularly on videos, and enjoy the Foxy Games UK content. You may also help Foxy Games UK reach more gamers. Feel free to share the video. You can also consider supporting Foxy Games UK via Patreon, because, well, we're like family now. Link in the description. Sorry, I'm not doing this with a lot of composure. I'm itching to get back onto VR, but that concludes our time together on this Monday. I hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, play games, not corporations.